What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Lord Solar Prime, and today I'm bringing you a continuation of combos you should know if you plan on playing Sinful Infernoble Knights featuring Azamina. If you guys missed the last combo video as well as the deck profile to support these two combo line videos, head over to my channel, give those videos a watch, and come back. The reason I'm telling you that is because in these videos I'm gonna be moving kind of fast, and I don't want anybody to get tripped up and don't know what's going on. So just head over there, take a look, get brought up to speed, and head back on over here. Now, with all that out of the way, if you guys like what you see, hit the like button. If you guys have something to say, leave a comment down below. And if you know a friend that may enjoy this video, how about sharing this video with them or even to your social media? It doesn't matter to me. With all that out of the way, let's get started, guys. All right, so these are the three cards we're going to be working with in this particular combo line, but the two most important ones is going to be Bellstar, the Black Witch, and any monster card to pitch off Deception. So this other card can be any random card. So let's get started. So we're going to go main phase one. We're going to special summon Bellstar by pitching any card from our hand to activate her effect to set a Sinful Spoils card directly from our deck, and we're going to set Deception. We're going to then activate Deception, activating this effect, pitching a monster card from our hand to search us a copy of the Hallowed Azamina. Once we have Azamina in our hand, we're then going to activate Azamina, sending Deception in itself to the grave to fusion summon out our copy of Risalago. Once we got Risalago on the field, her effect is going to activate, searching us a copy of OSS to our hand. Once we have that to our hand, we can now link summon these two monsters away for a copy of Ferocious Flame Swordsman. If you guys don't have SP Little Knight, this is a good substitute. Moving forward, once we have Risalago in the graveyard, we can return her back to the extra deck from the effect of the Hallowed Azamina, adding it to our hand. And once we get that to our hand, we can activate it once more, sending our original to the field. From our original Sinful Spoils to the graveyard along with Azamina to fusion summon once more for Severa. Now that Severa is on the field, we can then banish our OSS from the grave, returning our Bellstar back to the deck, and searching us a level 1 fire monster. And that fire monster is going to be Bradamante. We're going to use Bradamante to bridge into Infernobles, but you also use this card to bridge over into Flame Swordsman as well, which you guys will see in the combo line video that we're going to do for Flame Swordsman. So we're going to activate the effect of Bradamante, targeting our warrior on the field to equip it with an equip card directly from the deck, and that equip card is going to be Durendal. Once we have Durendal on the field, we're going to activate Durendal, searching us a copy of Ogier and destroying Durendal in the process. Now we can finally normal summon our copy of Ogier. Ogier is going to activate, sending a copy of Ricardetto to the graveyard. Now that we have Ricardetto in the graveyard, we can then link summon our Ferocious Flame Swordsman and Ogier away for a copy of Promethean Princess. Now that Promethean Princess has been established on field, we can activate her effect, targeting our Ricardetto and special summoning him. Once Ricardetto hits the field, his effect activates, targeting a level 4 Lower Fire Warrior in our graveyard and special summoning, which we're going to special summon back our Ogier. Once we resolve the effect of Ricardetto, we're now locked into warriors for the rest of the turn. Don't worry, that's all we're summoning for the rest of the turn. We then can synchro these two away for a copy of Angelica. Angelica hits the field, she's going to add us a copy of Museum. We now can activate Museum, searching us Owlmace from our deck. Now, we don't have to burn Owlmace here, targeting her. We can use the Ogier in the graveyard to trigger Angelica. So that's what we're going to do. Activate Ogier, target Angelica, chain Angelica's effect to banish her, sending a fire warrior to the grave, which is going to be Turpin, and special summon our Captain Roland from the extra deck. Now we're going to equip Owlmace to Promethean Princess and not Roland in this instance. We're going to use the effect of Turpin to special summon himself from the graveyard since we control a face of equip card. Then we're going to synchro summon these two away. Oh, don't forget to banish your Turpin for Emperor Charles. Now that Emperor Charles is on the field, we then can activate the effect of Owlmace, which is going to let us equip Durendal from the graveyard to Emperor Charles. And once that's been established, Charles' effect is going to activate, destroying our Promethean Princess. That way we can use it on our opponent's turn in the graveyard. Now that Charles has a equip to him, we can now link summon him away for our first copy of Emperor Charles the Great. Activate his effect to equip Emperor Charles the Synchro from the graveyard to himself. And now we can move to using the museum effect to special summon up our Emperor Charles Synchro. And then we can use the effect of Captain Roland in the graveyard to equip to Synchro Charles. Now that that's been established, we then can link summon Charles away for another copy of Emperor Charles the Great, which is also going to equip Emperor Charles from the graveyard to him. Now that we are at this point here, we can check our graveyard because we're just about ready to move to the end phase, and we don't have anything here that we really want to trigger. So we're going to move towards the end phase. The end phase, we're going to return Angelica. We're also going to reset our copy of Deception back to the field. That way we can use it next turn if we need to. And we're also going to finish off the end phase with the effect of Emperor Charles the Great, which is going to equip an equip card from the graveyard and also equip the monster from the deck. And that monster we're going to equip is going to be Malgus in this instance. So this is the end of our turn. So what are we looking at here? What's the analysis of the board? We have one Omni Negate with Severa. We have two Spell and Trap card negations with Emperor Charles the Great. We also have a non-targeting card destruction with the combo of Roland plus Charles, and we also have a interruption with a special summon monster on our opponent's field by triggering the effect of Promethean Princess. So that does it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms of interruption on our opponent's turn. Not counting that, we can also use the effect of Emperor Charles the Great, sending an equip card, and we would send Malgus, and then we're gonna gain a card to our hand on our opponent's turn when we actually use the effect to negate a spell or trap card that our opponent would play. So that does it for this particular combo line. The next combo line is really, really good. You don't want to miss that one. So let's go ahead and jump into that one. All right, we're gonna use the same cards we used in the previous combo. So let's go ahead and get started. Main phase 1, we're going to special summon our idea Bellstar by pitching a card from our hand to set a Sinful Spores card. We're going to set Deception. We're going to activate Deception, pitching a monster card from our hand to search us a copy of Azamina. We're going to activate Azamina, sending Deception to the grave to special summon our Risilago. Risilago effect is going to add us a copy of OSS from our deck. Then we can take these two girls here. We can link summon them away for a copy of Ferocious Flame Swordsman. Now that the fuse is in the grave, we can return the fusion back to the extra deck by activating the effect of Azamina in grave to add back to hand. Once we get it back to our hand, we can then activate it again, send the OSS to the grave along with it to fusion summon once more for Severa. Now that Severa is on the field, we then can move to our grave, activate the effect of OSS, send it back to Bellstar to search for a fire level 1 monster. So we're going to search for Bramante. Bramante is going to activate her effect, targeting the Flame Swordsman to equip the Rendell from the deck directly to him. Activate the Rendell, send this up to grave to search for a copy of Battlin Boxer Uppercutter. We're going to normal summon Uppercutter. Uppercutter effect is going to add us a copy of Battlin Boxer Spar. Since we control a Battlin Boxer monster on the field, we're going to special summon out our Spar. Then we're going to XYZ summon for a copy of King Dempsey. Once King Dempsey hits the field, his effect is going to allow us to add a Renard from our deck to our hand, but we're also going to activate the effect of King Dempsey to detach Spar, and it's going to protect all Battlin Ball monsters from being targeted for the rest of the turn. Now at this point here, if you guys are playing the XYZ package, which is going to be the armored package worth of cards, you guys can apply those at any point in time, but I'm gonna continue as if I don't have them. Of course, it's your choice whether or not you choose to play them. I may choose to, I may not, but I'm just gonna show you the bare bones if you don't play them. So now that we control Fire Warriors, we can special summon out our Renard. Renard's effect is gonna allow us to add back our Battlin Boxer Spar back to our hand. And seeing as we still control a Battlin Boxer monster, we can special summon out our Spar once again. Now we're going to take Spar and we're going to take Renard. We're going to synchro summon these two away for a copy of Angelica. Angelica's effect is going to activate grabbing us Museum. We're going to activate Museum, pay 12 to get us a copy of Almace. And as you guys notice, we don't have any Infernobles in our graveyard to trigger our Angelica, so we're going to have to burn this Almace. So we're going to activate Almace, targeting Angelica. We're going to chain Angelica's effect, banishing her, sending a copy of Ogier to the graveyard, and special summoning out our copy of Roland. Now that Roland's on the field, we can then link summon away the Dempsey and the Ferocious Flame Swordsman for a copy of Promethean Princess. Now we need to get a level 4 warrior on the field so we can get to Charles. And you would be tempted to activate the effect of Promethean Princess here, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to activate the effect of Ogier to target Roland to equip it to him. And then we're going to activate the effect of Museum to special summon up our Ogier. Activate the effect of Ogier once it gets spell summoned to send a copy of Gearfried to the graveyard. But if this is not spicy enough for you, let's go ahead and see what other monster we can send to the graveyard after the effect of Ogier. So we can send a copy of Great Shogun Shien to the graveyard, but I'm gonna finish this combo line out with Gearfried because that's probably gonna be the most optimal depending on what you guys wanna do. So I'm gonna finish this combo line out with Gearfried, but at the end of the turn when I do the analysis, I'm also gonna break down what we have with Gearfried on the board, and then I'm gonna break down what we would have on the board with Great Shogun Shien. So these two are in the graveyard. Cool. Now that those two are in the graveyard, we can then use the effect of Promethean Princess to special summon out our Gearfried. I'm gonna put Shien right there with him. From the graveyard, now we can synchro summon into Emperor Charles using Roland and Ogier. Once Charles is on the field, we're going to activate the effect of Captain Roland. Captain Roland is going to equip to Emperor Charles. We're going to use Charles' effect to destroy the Promethean Princess. That way we can use it on our opponent's turn. Now that Charles has an equip card on him, we can then link summon him away for a copy of Emperor Charles the Great. Emperor Charles the Great is going to equip Synchro Charles to him. And we don't have anything else to activate, so we're gonna move towards the end phase. End phase, Angelica is going to return. I'm gonna activate the effect of Emperor Charles the Great. It's going to equip an equip card from the graveyard. And we have both Almace and Durendal in here, so I'm gonna choose Durendal. And we're gonna equip a Fire Warrior from our deck to Emperor Charles the Great, which is gonna be Olivier, giving him more protection from cards like Inferno. So, also, during the end phase, if you have the space, if you don't have anything to set in your back row, you can also put back your Deception. I'm gonna just keep it face up for the sake of the video, but it's your choice whether you want to put this back or not, put it on the field or not. So, what do we have here once we turn the turn over to our opponent? Let's do our analysis. So, in this example here, we have one Omni Negate, we have one Spell of Trap Negate, and we also have a, let me get both of these cards out. We have a non-targeting destruction effect with the combo of Roland and Emperor Charles the Great. We also have a special summon monster destruction on our opponent's turn with the effect of Promethean Princess. So let's count the interruptions here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms of interruption. Plus, we're going to trigger the effect of Angelica on our opponent's turn to send Malgus to the grave to net us 1 card. Cool. So if you want to use the Great Shogun Shien, this is what you would have on field. So let's do the analysis of Great Shogun Shien. All right, so Great Shogun Shien is on the board, and this field analysis needs a little bit more attention brought to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this down. So what are we looking at? We're looking at an Omni Negate with Severa. We have a Spell of Trap Negate with Emperor Charles the Great. We have a potential lockout of Spell of Traps with Great Shogun Shien. We also have a non-targeting monster destruction with the combo of Captain Roland plus Charles. And we also have a monster, special summon monster destruction with Promethean Princess. All right, so let's roll it back to Great Shogun Shien. So now it's our opponent's turn. Let's just say they have a collection of spells in their hands, and they really want to resolve the effect of Wanted. So they activate Wanted, and at this point here, we have decisions to make. We can either negate the activation or we can negate the effect. So what's the difference, Prime? Okay, let's just say we choose to use Emperor Charles the Great to negate the activation of Wanted. Under Great Shogun Shin said my opponent can only activate one spell / trap card per turn. So we then negate the activation, that clears our opponent to activate another spell card going forward. If we don't want that to take place, and we want this to be the only spell card that they get away with on our turn, we have to turn our attention to Severa. Severa's negation effect negates the effect of whatever card it's negating. So if they was to go Wanted and we respond with Severa, it would negate the effect, not the activation of Wanted, which would also keep them locked under the Great Shogun Shin lock for spell cards. I hope that made sense, and I really wanted to drive that point home for you guys just to make sure that it was fully explained from my point of view of what we're actually looking at. So this does it for this particular combo line, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming back and rocking with me once again in the third video that I put out this week, which is going to be the second video of combos that I produced this week. If you guys like what you see, go ahead and leave a like button, hit the like button. If you guys have something to say, write a comment down below. I will respond. And if you guys found this informative enough to share with your friends, please share it with your friends. Until next time, guys, when I cover the Flame Swordsman half of this stuff with Azamina, this has been your boy, Lord Solar Prime. I'm out, guys. Peace.